Hello everyone, happy Friday. I haven't done a salsa making video in a while. Um, I have not been in my normal place or space for a while. So I've had to kind of come up with a different way to do things. I'm not going to attempt to make any salsa on this video, but this is just more about the medium and the molds. And I am wearing gloves this time because this stuff is usually extremely drying no matter what the medium, no matter it be a type of clay or paste or dough or whatever you want to call it. But anyhow, let's start with these. In the past, I've talked to you about my own homemade paste or clay, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to stand back up. I hope you can see here how easy that is to use. This is very inexpensive to make. And this is the natural color of it, white. But I've been also in the process of trying to find different ways to make a color. You can tell this one is one I changed from that. I actually changed this a few days ago. You can tell by the way it's kind of cracking when I squash it that it is drier. Oops. And the longer it sits out, the drier it's going to get because this is air dry. But what is surprising to me about this is the way I've changed the color. I do love these two colors. I don't think they're yucky or gross or anything like that. If you were to ask me, did I add food coloring? The answer is no. Did I add paint? The answer is no. Did I add any kind of dye? No, I did not. Did I add alcohol ink? No, I did not. And it was just something that kind of came to me that I will share at some point. These two do have some song in them, but that is not what is creating the color. And this one, I just added the color to a little while ago. You can see it's in between these two. It's drier than this one, but not as dry as that one. And I think this would be beautiful for green tara. I love the earth tones and colors. I'm sorry, I keep bumping the tripod. So again, I really admire people who can find their one source and stick with it and repeatedly make salsa like a machine, you know, just keep going and keep going. But for me, part of the process and part of the enjoyment of it all is trial and error. So, and I'm going to probably keep doing that trial and error. I want to definitely make other colors of these, and I know how to do it now. So, and these do actually smell good. So there's nothing harmful in any of these that could harm the earth or environment. Now let's look at these molds. You know, these are the first molds I received. They were gifted to me, and they are older, but they're pretty much the same. You know, you can tell by just this angle that this one is wider than these two. So there's some variety in the size. And then these are the newer ones I got. And I got them, you know, at a very good price. Fast shipping, reliable seller on Etsy. But there are difficulties I've had with these molds. I'm going to show you to see the width of that one. Let's compare it to the width of this one. Do you see how much wider this one is than this one? So for me, salsa making is largely about not only what medium you're working with, the climate, and the molds. What may work for one of these molds in terms of this may not work for another one. And here, this one is pretty much the same width as this one. But I've also noticed that these molds, I don't know how they made them. They must have been done on some kind of 3D printing machine, because in certain details there are cuts in the metal, and it is creating like a defect in the actual satsa. So, what do you think of the colors, the natural colors? Do you like them? At some point, like I said, I'll reveal exactly what I did aside from adding sang. Sang, if you don't know, is blessed incense powder. And I have tried making a few satsa with these, but I wasn't having the luck I wanted. But I know, again, it's going to depend on the stage. This one is very smushy, soft, sticks together. Let me move that. That one, definitely harder. It cracks, see the cracks around the edges. And like I said, this one is somewhere in between those two. And I actually think this is probably the best consistency right now out of all three of these. So I do want to get them back into their containers before they completely dry out. Anyhow, I'll be back with you soon once I get some more of this figured out. If you have any tips or tricks you'd like to share, please go ahead and do so. Bye, everyone.